Hi everyone. My name is Renee Grace King, but you can call me Renee Grace. I'm an author, a teacher. I'm also now a blogger as well as a brand ambassador. And I'm excited because today I'm going to talk about the brand that I am most excited about, which is me. And when I say me, I'm not just talking about myself, I'm also talking about you as well. Um, have you ever met someone who they just seem to have it all together? They go to little league baseball games. They work. They may have their own business, and they're just running all over the place, just doing all kinds of crazy things that when you try to do it, it seems like yeah, it's a little bit much, and you feel like you just want to run off the cliff. Well, the reason why I'm talking about that today is because one of the things that is so important and so key, and people don't really like to talk about it because it's kind of like a little taboo, a little bit, is being selfish with your time, being selfish to the extent of really knowing who you are. Um, Not just knowing who you are, but spending time really just reflecting on you as a whole person, not a half a person. One of the things that I find is so interesting that people can do all these different things and really don't spend a lot of time really for themselves. You know, my parents, and if you're in my age group, which I'm not going to say how old I am, but if you're in my age group, we had our mothers and their mothers did it all. And, rarely did you ever see them with downtime. They were always on the go, always doing stuff. My mom always had us involved in different activities after school, at the church, my dad had a business, so ever since I was young, my parents always had a business. And but then on top of the business, my mom always worked an outside job, so it wasn't just her working with my dad, but it was also her working with people on the outside. And so when it came down to it, she just spent so much time being so busy that later on in life, when it was time for her to relax and chill and that kind of thing, rarely did I ever see her really relax and really chill until she got sick. And even then, she was still on the go. She was still on the phone. She would still be talking to people and that kind of thing. But later on, it came to a point where she wasn't able to do the things that she normally would do. She was very independent. She was able to do things on her own, and she didn't really have time to do that. Well, not that she didn't have time. She had the time, but she did not have the energy level to do what it was that she was so used to doing. And and one of the things that I used to tell her all the time is, Mom, you gotta really just relax. And she used to ask me all the time, like, how do you do that? Like, I don't know how you sleep, past, because, like I said, if you're coming from my generation and their generation, they would be up at the crack of dawn. Ready to run the streets and do whatever they had to do. And by like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they pretty much had exhausted everything that they needed to do. Whereas we, on the other hand, tend to sleep a little bit longer. We tend to do things a little bit differently. I'm originally from Massachusetts, and now I'm in the South, and it's different. It's very different. And it's just different. I'm a type A personality, so I'm just really, everything has to be written out. I have to know where I'm going, what am I doing, that kind of thing. And once I moved to the South, it's a different pace altogether. The things that I thought were very important to me, I'm not so, not that I don't think they're important anymore, but I realize that life still will continue on whether I get it done or not, And so I think some of that I have adopted, some of that in my in my northern ways, although I'm still northern. still will, just run and just keep it going. But I have learned how to slow down quite a lot. But, you know, one of the things the reason why I wanted to talk about that topic is because it's so taboo and so, and as I stated before, it's not a normal thing for you to be able to really just take time for yourself, really just to block out a set amount of time and just unwind. I love, I'm just gonna say, so my family knows that when I work on the outside, when I have to go out and work a 9 to 5, that when I come in, I like some time to unwind. I don't want to rush right into, hey, how was your day, and that kind of thing. I need some time to really just relax and regroup and recoup. And it's a little bit selfish. I admit it's a little selfish, but I need that because in order for me to be at my best to give to them, then I need to be able to have that time for myself. And if you give me that time for myself, which my honey, it took him a while to really get that because he is just so just in it. So, your time away from home, that was your vacation time. So when you come in, when it's me and you, then, I expect 100%. And so we've learned to compromise with that. But I have learned, and he has learned, that in order for me to function, I need that quiet time. I need that hour. When I was by myself, when I was single, then, my quiet time would be from the time I get off from work until the time I decide I'm going to answer my phone again. Because I'm usually pretty good at blocking out, separating my business from my personal. And so, but when you're in a relationship, it works a little bit differently. And the reason why I'm talking about that piece is because a lot of times people will use that as an excuse that, you don't understand because I have kids and I have a husband and I have this, that, and the other thing going on. And that is really just an excuse because anything can be resolved through communication. So what it requires. So maybe you don't need as much time as I need. I need my hour. So in my hour, I take my shower, my bath, whatever. I'm listening to my music. I'm just jamming out. And then when I get out of that hour, out of that zone and got rid of all of the dirt from the day, which is, the bath time, when I get rid of all of that, then I'm centered and I'm able to release to the people that mean the most to me. I'm able to give them the best of me. And so that is one of the reasons why it's so important and so key that when you're in a relationship or when you're even when you're by yourself, that that in order for me to give my best to the people on the outside, I have to take care of me first. And if you're not taking care of you, then you cannot give anyone 100% of you. So with that being said, your assignment for this next week, because we're actually winding down, I'm looking at the clock, which is why you see my eyes kind of being averted a little bit. But for the next week, what I want you to do is every day take 10 minutes just for you. Nobody else, just for you. That means if in that 10 minutes it's about reading, reading something inspirational, maybe writing something in a journal, maybe it's just music, maybe it's just, you're just releasing, or maybe it's just you just being still. Sometimes that's all you need. It's just some quiet centering time. And so with that being said, I'm going to end this with my wonderful affirmation that I believe in. I believe in saying this. I am awesome. I am powerful. I am abundance. I am peace. I am fulfilled. I am joyful. I am me. And me is more than enough. Well, there you have it. Less than 10 minutes with Renee Grace. Have a great day.